Andy Edwards, welcome to Notts County. Welcome to the role of assistant head coach. Can you just give us your initial feelings?
Yeah, really excited. Excited to get started. Excited to meet the players. And for me, obviously, a return to club football, so I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, you've been working at the FA for a number of years now. What was it about Notts and the project that we have here that made you want to move on and start a new challenge?
Yeah, I think it was time. It's something I've thought about for maybe a couple of years, on and off. I had a few approaches over that time, but it was something about Notts County, the history of the club, the size of the club, something about it that just made me think that this was the right decision, and it was time to get back into club football.
You're coming into what is a fairly unique structure within football in terms of the way that the club is set up. What are your overall views on the sort of the structure that you're coming into, working alongside our new head coach Martin?
Yeah, of course it's different, but I don't think it's that much different. Often management teams coming together. Obviously Martin and myself are coming separately, if you like, but that's something I'm very much used to. The England teams that I've worked in over the last 7-8 years, that is how those staff are formulated. So that's something I'm very used to and very comfortable with. I think as an assistant you need an element of flexibility, of course, but I'm very much looking forward to working with Martin and the rest of the staff.
As part of the new structure, you'll be part of a technical board alongside Martin, Sam Sloum, our first team coach, and a few other people from sort of different areas of the football department. Amongst that will be meetings pre and post match where you'll all have an opportunity to sort of collaborate and offer your own unique perspectives on the way to approach each game. Do you see that as a healthy setup?
Yeah, I see it as a real positive, to be honest. As a multidisciplinary team, from the goalkeeping coach, myself, Martin and others, the owners of course, Roberto, sporting director. I think it's important that everyone's able to view their opinions, to be led or informed, should I say, by the data. Ultimately it's the head coach's decision, Martin's decision on the team or training or whatever aspects of the club that it may be. But I think it's a forward thinking way of looking at things and doing things, and I don't think it's too uncommon. I don't think it'll be the first club that's working in that way.
I've just dragged you out of a meeting with Martin. Sorry about that. What are your sort of first impressions of him as a man and also as a sort of a football thinker as well?
I think firstly he's had a fantastic playing career. You look at that first, and he's experienced some top flight football. He's an international player. So I think his experience as a player is really valuable. As a coach, he's very experienced in a short space of time, worked out in the States, obviously worked at a very good level in England. So I think that gives him real credibility. Clearly very driven, very ambitious. I think he's got real clarity in terms of how he wants to work, how he wants the team to play, what he wants the team to look like and represent. So I think, I think it's a very good appointment by the club and somebody I'm really looking forward to working closely with.
And I bet you can't wait for these next few days before the lads come back in to sit down, plan out all the training over pre-season and really sort of get your teeth stuck into it alongside him.
Yeah, that's right. Of course we've got ideas and a framework of what it should look like. Nailing down the detail is obviously really important. So over the next few days that will be completed, no doubt. But ultimately, when the players come back in and we're working, and that's the time to really to enjoy, really.
You'll also have the pleasure of getting to know Sam Sloum, who's joining us as first team coach. I know he's going to be a big support to you, in support of Martin. He's a man with such a fantastic affinity to the club and knowledge of the squad. He's going to be such a valuable part of your team. Yeah,
massive part of it. I think Sam's been here 6 years. Like I say, he'll have a real insight into all the players, good relationships with people. I've met him briefly at St George's Park a few weeks ago, and everyone I speak to speaks very highly of him. So yeah, looking forward to working with Sam.
You are the assistant head coach, so what do you define as that role?
Well, I think it can look different to different coaches. Again, I've worked at the FA for 8 years, and you're assigned, if you like, to different people, and you recognise their strengths, and you're trying to complement what you can offer, recognise where they might need support and help, recognise when they need challenge, support the message they're delivering to the players is absolutely key. And making sure you're aligned, which you're already with Martin, I think we clearly are. So it can look different with different people, of course, but obviously coaching on the training pitch, driving the standards of the players and the staff on and off the pitch, and just being there to support and to support the manager.
We talked about Martin's playing experience, but you've also got a fantastic playing CV behind you, several promotions, lots of experience at sort of similar levels and higher levels within the Football League, as it will have been called in those days.
Yeah.
How much do you draw on that experience when you come into a new club?
I think, I had a long career, not an illustrious career, but a long career. Played a lot of games, certainly at this level. Although that was many years ago, managed to get 4 promotions from this division with different teams and different squads at different stages of my career. But I don't think it's changed too much. The style of football's maybe changed, the tactical side has changed, of course. But in terms of the mentality, the drive, the ingredients within the dressing room that you need to succeed, for me, that's still the same. I think I know what it takes to get out of this division. And obviously that's the challenge this season.
When did you first know that coaching was going to be the next step for you?
I think as a player, you're always interested in sessions and how it works and how a team's put together. So I think it's always I was going to go down that route. I played till I was 35, 36. I didn't actually start coaching until after that point, but it was always an avenue I felt I was going to go down.
And just tell us about your journey towards the FA. Obviously you were at Orient, which is where you met our director of football, Roberto, but just give us sort of an overview of the... Yeah,
packed up playing, coached at Conference South level with St Albans, worked in Arsenal's academy, then went into Leyton Orient's under-18s head coach before becoming academy manager, and then assisted a number of managers, including Kevin Nolan, at Orient before leaving to come to the FA.
And that job at the FA, it must have been a fantastic experience working with some of England's best sort of youngsters. Are there any particular players that you've particularly enjoyed working with over that time?
There's many, and I'm not actually going to name drop any, but what you notice with those players, those young players, their attitude, their mentality is top, and that's why they're there more often than not. Obviously they're vastly talented as well, but I've been privileged to work with so many good players over the last 8 years. Something I really value, I've really enjoyed, and hopefully I can pass on some of that experience to Notts County and help us be successful.
Am I right in thinking that your role evolved and changed sort of over that time at the FA? I think you're focusing on out of possession at one time, and I think you also led the team as well.
It was an out of possession model, so a real focus on that. I worked alongside Paul Simpson, who was the head coach initially, Aaron Danks, who's assistant manager at Bayern Munich now, who's had a very successful career. So fortunate to work with good people, and there's a real focus on different aspects of the game. That's changed over time at the FA. I led the under-20s for a season, then reverted back to an assistant role with various coaches. Again, going back to assisting in different ways depending on the needs and strengths, if you like, of the head coach.
Players back on Friday. What will your approach be to getting to know the lads? How will you go about that yourself?
Well, I think it just takes time. You build relationships through experiences as much as anything. So, get to know everyone. Obviously, I've been watching games. I'm aware of some of the players, or a number of the players. Looking forward to getting to know them, supporting them, and hopefully helping them become better and us become better as a team.
And a full pre-season, which is mainly planned out, obviously, in terms of the game schedule. I'm sure you'll be putting all the finer details and report times and double sessions and all that sort of stuff. You'll be sort of finishing off those details this week with Martin and Sam. But generally, a full pre-season to look forward to, a trip to Germany to look forward to as well.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Yeah, fantastic. Really good pre-season. I think it's been really well planned, really well thought out. I think the players hopefully are looking forward to coming back in the building. I think it's a special time for players when you come back in, and the fresh kit, the smell of the grass, and all of those things. You're quite excited for the season ahead. So, hopefully we can hit the ground running in training, enjoy the tour to Germany, and really implement our way of playing. So there's real clarity going into the start of the season.